Hey, Jan here. My goal today is basically to explain you three core things regarding automations. First one is how to set up a simple automation. Second one is how to erase it. And the third one is once you want to set up more complex automations, you also want them to run reliably. So how can you do that with a virtual sandbox or a remote environment? And I will explain why this is relevant or needed. So let's jump into OpenWork. In this case, I can just go here on settings for my given workspace. So this is scope to the factory workspace. There is automations that I have planned. I can just do one more daily planning brief. You can see here that there is a prompt. There is a time of the day, which maybe I can put it at 7:30 because I wake up earlier. And what this does under the hood is basically set up this automation for me, right? So it's basically creating a cron job that is going to run at 7:30 in the morning if my computer is turned on and OpenWork is turned on. And the limitation about this is, well, I need for these two things to happen. Now, I want this to happen reliably every time, right? So let's just very quickly erase this now. So here's how you can erase it, and that should remove the automation. But you know what happens when you want to run this reliably and you want it to always work? Well, in this case, I prepared a more complex one that I'm actually very excited to run. I think it should be here. This is a more complex automation that I've prepared. It's basically a skill that I've distilled, but I could run it from there, right? So I'm gonna go into my cloud factory. The reason I call it cloud is because it's connected to my Mac Studio. So it will always run and work even if I step out and do other things on my computer. So I know that there's a reliability factor here. OpenWork also has the cloud solution, which basically creates a sandbox worker that does the very same thing. In here, when we go on automations, I can basically go and create the same automation like daily. I can create the same automation. And let's set it up again, 7 a.m., 7:04 a.m. every day. Now, what is going to happen here is that it's going to go and create this, which is a longer prompt. If you're curious about it, it basically asks me about 8 questions through the day, about what I plan to do, how to get the best out of my day, and it gives me pushback. And I've been doing this for a few weeks, and the challenge when you ask a question one after another is that it gets really annoying with AI, especially when it responds slowly. So I wanted to be able to like yap and answer everything, and then it just pushes back on these answers, right? So it can go back and iterate these little things. It's basically a skill that is wrapped around or / automated, right? So what happens is I'm going to go and show you my Mac Mini, which is the instance on the cloud. I have this automation that this one is the one that I prepared before, just so you can see it run. But I've already scheduled this automation, right? So here it should see that there's, I think at least 2 of them scheduled. The third one hasn't fully completed yet because it doesn't sync it until it executes. But I can see that this automation is there. And basically every morning I will get these 8 questions. I could get it here, I could get it on my Telegram, I could get it on Slack, but I'll get these 8 questions. I'm going to answer no goals today. And then it should push back. I'm answering now from the cloud. Let me just show you how I could answer from the machine. I could go here, it is already pre-scheduled. And this should basically push back, right? In the form of asking questions, which is how we defined. Now, the reason this is interesting is because you may want to do things that are more critical to your work that you need to run daily. For example, we have one of the skills that we have set up in OpenWork is basically the automation of the docs, right? So we have a daily brief that runs and improves our documentation. And we want this to work every day, of course, and it should work reliably. So this takes a delta of all the commits, figures out what has improved or what hasn't, and then goes ahead and proposes changes. Now, we want this to run all the time. That's part of the reason that you want to do things in the cloud. But I just wanted to show you a little bit of how we do this at OpenWork. And hopefully, we've also inspired you to set up some automations for your own or your team that could be very useful. Thanks so much.